Previously on Babies and Broadswords.
Paragon, don't move.
Ignatius, off to Paragon's left, is a large black cat. The bench does start to move, and it makes a loud grinding noise, and the cat perks up, and he starts to pad his way over to where the noise is coming from.
I'm going to take out my balloon and boop it on the nose. Boop. I let go of it.
The balloon hovers for a moment and then it doesn't float up, it floats sideways, and the cat is following the balloon. You are now standing on the bench. Isabeau just scampers up Ignatius's back like they've done 100 times, gets up on the bench. You're right next to the cookies. Daybella, you are interested in the refrigerator, in the icebox. There is a whooshing sound behind you, and all of a sudden, you are surrounded in darkness. The fridge door has swung closed behind you.
I think that's Daybella in there.
Ignatius pops open the ice chest, and you just see Daybella, and her eyes are wide. You notice the sound of the cafeteria door opening, and there's a voice that says, "Scotchy, why are you playing with that balloon? Where'd all the cookies go? I thought she was supposed to have our cookies for us now." Jacques says, "We know you have our cookies, and it is okay. Do you know who the triangle is? Little friends, we might have a job for you, a very important one, but why don't you come on back to our office?" And it looks like a normal broom closet when he opens the door. The back wall slides open into a much bigger space, and there are piles and piles and piles of cookies. Hello out there, friends. Welcome to another episode of Even Footing Games presents Babies and Broadswords. I am Jason. I am your sitter. I'm joined here by most of our players and a new friend today. Why don't y'all take a second to say hello and give us your character name, and then we'll get right into what we're doing today. Aaron, you're first.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I play Henry, the hypoallergenic dragon, and he is a sorcerer who is really thinks his wings are growing in, and he's ready to fly.
I'm hearing songs by R&B artists that we can't talk about anymore in the back of my head. Lee, how about you?
I'm Lee Baldwin. I play Daybella, the Furbolg Warwalk, and she's just a cute little girl who doesn't know why everyone looks at her so weird. It's just maybe it's the mushrooms.
Lee, is this a little autobiographical of your childhood?
No.
No, why is everyone looking at me weird? I was so cool.
It's the mushrooms.
I get the feeling we were all cool. Mr. St. James.
My name is Jimmy St. James, and I play Ignatius, the Tabaxi Sneaky Pants, who doesn't like his name. So if you get confused as you're listening and you hear Augustus or Julius or Imperio, those are just other names he goes by.
Imperio's a new one. And joining us today is another member of our team who hasn't been able to play yet, but we're happy to have him. All the way from Brazil, we've got Rocky. Rocky, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your character?
Hey guys, I'm Rocky, and my character is Estevan Piro. He's a little Brazilian vampire. Then he's a little grumpy because he just woke up from a century-old nap.
So he's been asleep for 300 years?
About that, he's a heavy sleeper. He's really hard to get.
I guess so.
A real heavy sleeper.
Yeah. The adults love him because of that, because, he can't get in trouble if he's sleeping, but he's ready to get in trouble now.
Okay, he's awake and he's hungry. So this is a question we had about Esteban. Is he 300 years old, or has he been for 300 years? Like, is he a grown-up trapped in a child's body, or is he just perpetually a child?
Oh, he's perpetually a child.
Okay.
Good. That's the better choice. I like that.
That's a little less existentially terrifying. Yes. All right,
Yes, I mean he was embraced when he was 3, and he pretty much slept till now.
Okay. So it took a long time to take. All right.
Yeah.
Rocky, what's your character's name?
Esteban Piro. He's a biter.
Got it. Thank you.
Rocky, is Biter a class the name of the class that you've created for Esteban?
Yes, we are still working on the class, but this is the name so far, and I think it fits with a vampire.
Okay, great. So Biter is a new class. Biter will most likely be introduced in one of our and then probably our second book, which is going to be much expanded supplemental, more classes, more monsters, more items, that sort of thing, more adventures.
More big kid rules.
More big kid rules, right. But you can get a first listen to Biters here on Babies and Broadswords. So if this is your first time joining us, we do suggest you go back and listen to the past episodes. We are a few episodes in, and our setup is a little different from most real play podcasts. We are using a homebrewed system for one. This is the whole purpose is we are amateur game designers. Some of us are professional game designers. Some of us are amateurs trying to keep up with the professionals. But we are designing these games sort of as we go. So the podcast is one long play test for us in a sense. We have other people play testing as well, but this is a chance for us to sort of work out some of the kinks amongst ourselves. So occasionally you'll hear us, take a time out from the game and discuss one of the rules that we're working on. One of the things that we think isn't quite working that we would like to take a look at changing, or maybe to implement ideas that you, the listeners, have on ways that we can make the game better. We are really close to releasing the book. We're hoping to have it ready by January for the Ice and Dice convention, to have it where people can purchase PDF copies. So we're real close to the end of things here. So we do discuss the rules outside. So there have been some changes.
When is that Ice and Dice convention, Jason?
When is that Ice and Dice convention, Jimmy? It's January 21st, 22nd, and 23rd in Cleveland, Ohio.
Nope.
No, Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati,
They run
Ohio.
a different convention.
Oh, no. Where did I book my hotel room? In Cincinnati, Ohio, which is the other Ohio city. Yeah.
One's windier.
I know Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Ashtabula because I have family there. And that's, as far as I know, that's all that's in Ohio. Sorry for everyone who lives in Ohio.
Too.
Oh, there's a Columbus. All right. What's with all the C names, Ohio?
The Ohio State University.
Yes, I can, because I went to Penn State. I will happily forget about Ohio State. But anyway, yes. So it's in Cincinnati, Ohio, January 21st, 22nd, 23rd. There are still seats available. It is a smaller convention focusing more on indie games and new game designers. We are going to have a panel there. We're going to be doing a live game there. We're going to be playing games there, hosting them. We're going to have a booth, all of that good stuff. And we're going to be selling PDF copies as well as stickers and other merch there. So if you like what you hear and you're like, where can I get a copy? That's where we're unveiling it.
And if you want Jason to be your sitter for an hour,
show
up. It might just happen.
I will most likely be playing nonstop, and happily so. Jimmy has also been doing a lot of play testing and sitting for us. And he lives 2 doors away from the convention hall, so I'm sure he'll be there rolling some games as well. The nice thing about Babies and Broadswords is it's a very easy system to pick up for the sitters and the players. So I'm sure we'll all probably take a crack at running a game at the Ice and Dice convention. So if you happen to be in Cincinnati or you're looking for a convention and you've missed them as much as we have, check out Ice and Dice. It's very reasonably priced. There's still spots available. Hey, do you want to play this thing?
Yes.
I think let's get to it.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. All right. Shock and Luca are leaning against opposite sides of the door, trying to do the cool kid lean. Apparently, this cool kid leaning on stuff is something the big kids have worked on, but it's a small doorway, so they're kind of like leaning against each other and like pushing each other out of the way so that they can get good door space. And Ralph is leaning on the 3 of them all together, so their heads are all just kind of right there. Shock goes, hey, go on in, take a look. If you could put the cookies that you pilfered from us on the table, we will count them out. We will divvy them up between everyone. We are going to let you have some cookies, don't worry. And then we will discuss, but I want to get the secret passageway closed, and I can't do that if you are all standing in the doorway.
This is by far the coolest thing I ever saw. Okay.
Oh, I believe it. You live in a terrible orphanage, so this place is probably amazing to you. Yeah.
Probably nothing.
But Henry will follow Julius because that is what he is now calling Ignatius, because he's trying to pick a name before it changes again.
Julius is cool. Thank you.
Yeah, Daybella is gonna walk inside and start looking around. What's it look like in here?
Why don't you give me a nosy roll?
One of our new abilities.
One of our new skill challenges. Yeah, we added a bunch of those too.
Nosy, that's precociousness or cuteness?
It's cuteness.
Cuteness.
Cuteness. Okay, so that is a 7.
The room is about half the size of one of your playrooms, so it's a good sized space. And it looks like you can see on the walls where there were windows that have been boarded up. So this was probably either a room from an old edition of the house that got kind of incorporated into an extension, or maybe this is the outside to, maybe it faces the courtyard, so it's actually facing outside. But from the look of the room, the way they've set it up, no one's been in this room besides these three for years. They've taken care of their area, but there's cobwebs up in the corners and there's dust on the things. Basically anything above maybe 4.5 feet where they can't reach, they haven't bothered taking care of.
So what's their area look like, the area they have taken care of?
The area they have taken care of, there are 2 tables, long tables that one of them looks like an old cafeteria table, so they probably dragged it in or had somebody do it for them. And the other is basically just an old door that they've stacked on top of some egg crates. And then there is a big mahogany desk with 3 chairs all next to each other, probably where they all sit when they're doing their business. It's covered with papers and inkwells, and there's splotches of everything. And it looks like it's pretty well utilized. Apparently running a criminal organization in an orphanage for a bunch of 7-year-olds is a lot more involved than one would think. The cookies are all stacked neatly in piles. Most of them, the ones that are kind of on the 2 side tables, are the cookies that you're used to, which are basically just biscuits with a little bit of sugar in them. They're pretty flavorless and certainly a bounty, but nothing to get excited for. The good cookies, the ones that you just smelled, those are all on the desk itself. Those are on the mahogany desk. And they're stacked in a way that looks like they were counting through the cookies. So it looks as if they were collecting their dues for the week.
This place is clearly better ran than a lot of places I've worked.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pile of papers on the desk.
I mean, from a grown-up standpoint, these kids are very well organized. From a kid standpoint, they might as well be grown-ups. Everyone give me a nosy roll. Except for you,
Okay.
Rocky.
That's what
Yeah,
I
want
was
another
going to
one
ask.
here.
Okay. Oh, by the way, since it's my first time playing, can you explain to me a little bit how the rolls are made?
No, absolutely not. Yes. So
Okay, bye.
you got to figure this out. Yes, absolutely. You've got your character sheet in front of you. Okay. So you've got your adventurousness, your cuteness, and your precociousness.
Yes.
Right. From those precociousness, those basic numbers, your 5, 3, and 2, however you decided to divvy that up,
Mhm.
I will occasionally ask you to make a type of skill challenge roll. If it's adventurousness, then it's going to be either a muscly challenge, a nimble challenge, or a beefy challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically like making a strength, a dexterity, or a constitution roll. When I ask you to make a brainy, a clever, or a crafty roll, you're going to be using your precociousness.
Okay.
And if I ask you to make a kawaii, a quiet, or a big eyes roll, it's a nosy roll. Nosy roll.
Nosy roll.
It's your cuteness. So it's always going to be that number plus a 1d6 is going to give you the number for that success goal.
Got it.
Okay. And there are. Yep. Go ahead.
I was saying we can for now tell you exactly what stat you need.
Yes, absolutely.
Just until you catch on, and we'll go back to doing that. But something to keep in mind is that when you start, you have a class bonus. So I don't know, considering you're making your own class, if you want to pick that out right now, which skill challenge you want to be the best at, basically.
Or have a bonus too.
Right.
Or just, have a bonus too.
I think that beefy, because
Okay.
Beefy?
yes, beefy.
Okay. So you just have +1 to beefy checks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the time.
Okay,
Because he's a good eater.
exactly.
Nom, nom, nom.
Henry got a 6.
A 6. How about Daybella?
Oh, right. What check is it? Nosy again?
It's nosy again.
Nosy.
A 6.
And how did Ignatius do?
A 6 as well.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So we've changed some things, and that's made skill challenges more difficult. So that's good to know.
It got me for 1, yes.
By the way,
So it's work.
6 is good, 6 is bad.
Higher is better. Yep. Oh. As far
6
as
is like pretty low.
6 is low.
6 is like a 10, basically, because
Yeah.
it can basically go up to
It's
12.
in the average. Okay.
Yeah, difficulties are basically easy things are 7 to 9, although we might have to change this to 10. 7 to 9. Medium difficulty is 10 to 12, or 10 to 12, and then really hard stuff is 13 up. Yeah,
Got it.
and that's the sort of things you'll need to roll really well and use your skills and probably some items. So those are almost impossible.
I think the lowest I've ever assigned is a 7, and the highest I've assigned so far is a 14.
Sounds about right. That's usually the range I use, give or take. Yep. So Esteban, I need you to give me a quiet skill challenge. So this is going to be your cuteness, and if you have any bonuses to quiet, you can use those.
Cuteness, right?
Yes, sir.
So I got a 7.
Okay, that's better than their 6s.
Slightly.
Slightly. Good enough. As the three of you, as Henry, Daybella, and Ignatius are admiring the mountain of cookies, you don't notice a skittering from the ceiling. Nor do you hear the tiny form drop down behind you and stare over your shoulders. And a voice says, what does the voice say, Rocky?
I'm hungry.
No! I thought I was the sneaky one. What the?
That's terrifying.
Are you looking at us or the cookies?
I mean, kind of hard to decide, you know?
The three of you take one grump. That was hilarious.
I'm out then. I have to go take a break.
That did it? All right. So
I just start crying and I fall on the ground. I'm just like, no, no, no.
So Esteban drops from the ceiling and he sneaks up behind the three of you and just goes, hungry. And Daybella, she loses it. That's it. She breaks down and just clomps on the floor and starts crying, and she's hugging her balloon and saying, no, 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 no. So, Miss Baldwin, I'm going to need you to step away from the table.
What? No.
Do you want me to, considering we're like on camera, do you want me to physically step away? Or should I stick around so that I know when to come back?
You can stick around, but take your headphones off and wait for my signal. Okay. You can't hear any of this.
You can come back at 9:21.
Oh my god, I didn't want
you
you
got-
to do that. Sorry.
5 minutes.
No, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
You're out of here, Baldwin.
Baldwin's gone. All right. Jacques looks down at Daybella crying on the floor and says, oh, that's disappointing. I thought she would have been made of sterner stuff.
Been through a lot today, okay?
This is definitely not the first thing we've had to deal with.
I know you stole my cookies, which I have noticed are not yet on the table. And he looks at Isabella, who has been trying to pretend she doesn't have the bag full of cookies. Luca just kind of reaches over and pulls them out of her hand. Yeah.
Give them the cookies back.
He takes the cookies and he dumps them out. And Jacques walks over to the cookies and says, okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, 2 for you. And he gives Henry 2 cookies.
Way in my body. We work hard for this.
Luch, okay. Oh,
We.
3 cookies. 3 for 3, huh?
That's right.
Why don't you make me I don't know why I'm still doing this indie voice. Give me you're trying to negotiate for more cookies? All right. We're going to do cute versus cute on this one. How about that? And we're going to call these contested what makes sense? Kawaii challenges. We're trying to outpersuade each other. All right, what'd you get?
I have an 8.
That's what Jacques got. All right. All ties are rock, paper, scissors. All right. So we
Ready?
go on shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Jimmy got scissors. I got paper. All right.
Yes!
Yeah! All right. All ties are rock, paper, scissors. Okay. So Jacques looks at you and Ignatius has won the rock, paper, scissors match, and Jacques nods.
Sweet cookies.
Well played, kid. And he gives the 2 of you 3 cookies. Luca tries to offer Daybella the cookies, but she's like crying and won't acknowledge the cookies being waved in front of her. So he just kind of shrugs and puts them back on the table. I see you have met Esteban. He is our new recruit. We found him in a box in the basement.
Very scary stuff. Yeah.
I'm still hungry. I want some Duftus cookies, by the way.
Oh, yeah, okay, you can have cookies. I guess you might as well take hers since she's apparently too scared to eat them herself. So they toss you 3 cookies.
Thank you.
Did we all get 3 cookies, or did just Ignatius get the extra cookies?
No, he you all get 3 cookies, except for Daybella.
Okay.
Yep. 'Cause
Sorry. Oh my god.
it is good that you are here, though, because we were looking for Esteban. He's what are you? Some kind of a monster bitey guy? He just keeps saying hungry. I'm not sure what he's hungry for.
If you slept for 300 years, you'll be hungry too. And now, I'm a vampire.
We hungry, you old baby.
Yeah,
Impressive.
That's strange.
I want you to join us.
He's probably pretty cranky, I would imagine. Which is good, because you guys are all very smart, but I needed someone who could also, bite a kneecap.
Henry says that is very a fair assessment because I do not bite people. Someday I'll throw my fire breath will come in, guys. It'll be great.
Ooh, fire breath is very cool. Can any of you guys breathe fire? He looks at the other 2 and they're like, no, I can't breathe fire. I'm like, oh, all right.
I think Henry just assumes that he'll have
He'll have fire breath? Yeah. Like, oh, okay. I have never met a dragon before. I have to take your
Take your word for it.
take your word for it.
Oh, Daybella, you okay?
Yeah, Daybella slowly comes around. She's talking to Bloom. She's like, I think I'm okay. I think it's going to be okay.
So now we get to, Daybella, for the first time, we get to re-roll all your misfortunes,
Yes.
right?
That's right. Well,
Yes,
she
we'll
she
do that.
re-rolls her Grump Max. Her yeah.
Okay, just the one that went.
Just the
okay.
one that went. Yep.
Oh,
just the one that went
okay.
dark. Yep.
Ooh.
The others are still in danger.
Exactly.
So it's a D6 plus cuteness for Grumps.
Yes. How'd you
Right
do?
back to where it was. I got a 4.
So
Total.
Daybella's new Grump Max is the same as her old Grump Max, which was a
Mhm.
4. All right.
I did a good job.
Yep.
Henry kind of sneaks over and hands Daybella one of his cookies.
I don't eat it right away, actually. That's
No. I just
I put it in my
Because-
pocket.
because you missed some loot, and Henry has a soft heart.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking around and I said, Oh, where'd the spooky thing go?
Right behind you.
He's still
Not not as spooky as you think. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know.
I think he's gonna be really helpful to us though, because he looks really tough with those teeth.
And look at it. He's a snappy dwessel.
He is.
Yeah, what's he look like? I open my eyes and stop crying. What do I see as I rub tears?
I put my cape over my face. I say, ha ha ha.
I feel like he's got his blanket like this.
Say, are you doing the Bela Lugosi?
Ah, exactly. The vampire sneeze, you know?
Yep.
Does he have a widow's peak too? Yeah.
It's just drawn on of crayon.
Yeah, he's just he's colored it in. Yeah. So you see before you, Esteban, who is actually, Daybella, you realize he's younger than you are, and he's probably the shortest one there. He's really only scary when he drops from the ceiling and sneaks up behind you. But then he smiles at you, and you see a mouthful of very sharp teeth. So it looks like he's already grown in his grown-up teeth.
Who are you?
I am Steven. I'm a vampire. I could be your friend.
Vampire.
If your blood is good enough. No.
See, Esteban. See, that's the type of stuff we need to talk about. Okay?
You all like my blood. It's got mold in it.
What?
We like
for
you,
real.
but friends don't let friends, have each other's blood.
No?
I need my blood.
Why?
Debella need her blood.
But I need
We're
your
using
blood
it right
also.
now. But we're using it.
But you grow more.
If I get a boo-boo, you can have a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Not right
what
now.
I was gonna say, too.
What about those stinking barky dogs and stuff? What about them? They got
Oh
blood.
yeah,
Yeah?
lots of it.
They get good blood? They can be friends?
I think
No.
so.
Or they don't have to be friends so that you can take theirs.
But
Oh, you know who's got a lot of blood?
who?
Nurses.
Miss Margaret. She got a lot of blood. Too
But
big.
blood from friends takes
Oh
better.
my god.
You know, actually, I heard that the lunch lady is a chupacabra, and I think she actually eats blood, and so maybe she's got a stash somewhere.
Maybe, just maybe you were in the lunch way to get another little, like this, like the cookie thing, get it going on with blood.
Oh, cookies are good. I love cookies. Who doesn't like cookies? But blood from friends tastes better. It tastes like friendship.
Well, I think I have some blood. I'm gonna find my little piece of meat in the jar. It's covered in garlic.
Oh,
I'll pull it out. This might have blood in it.
It does have blood in it. I asked the cedar now.
garlic covered meat.
Daybella pulls out a little glass jar that she has, and you can see a raw piece of meat. It looks pretty nice and bloody, but it's kind of shaken up into some sort of powder. Like there's a powder in, and the meat has been dusted in the powder.
Oh, it is onion powder, not garlic.
It's onion powder. Yeah, it's onion
okay.
powder.
Yeah, okay. So never mind. You're probably fine.
Why don't you make me a clever roll, which is going to be use your precociousness to see if you can ascertain whether this is safe for you to eat or not. Yep.
Ooh, I got a 9.
Okay. It is raw. It is bloody. You can probably take get a little bit of nutrient out of it. It is also covered in a really pungent spice. It may not agree with your tummy. So if you want to take this piece of meat from her, Rocky, I'll give it to you as a piece of raw meat, and you can eat it to remove 1 grump, but it will give you... I'm sorry, you can eat it to remove 1 ouchie, but it will give you 1 tummy ache.
Okay, I'll trade her with 2
Magic
cookies
item.
for
You
it.
can have it.
I'll give her 2
What
cookies
are you
for
giving
it.
me?
2 cookies.
Yes.
All right.
2 cookies. Hell yeah. See? Okay, we can be friends.
Yay,
Yeah,
not so
we're
bad.
Blood from friends.
So Stephen, put on your character sheet.
Okay.
1 piece of raw onion meat. Yep.
Yeah, it's in a little glass jar, like a spice jar.
Are you giving him the whole jar as well?
Yeah, I'm just gonna,
Okay.
because I don't
Okay.
want to put it like in his pocket, just
Okay.
a piece of squishy meat. It's
You
gross.
don't know.
I'm okay with it.
Maybe he's into that. Yeah.
Jokes on you. I'm
When
into
it fills
that.
his pocket, he put the peanut butter in there. And
Maybe he just likes having a pocket full of meat. Who knows?
I got a pocket full of meat.
Don't yuck his meaty yum. Yeah.
Oh, I can't say that.
Yeah, you can't.
Good joke.
So yeah, it'll be a 1-use item minus 1 ouchie damage, but it'll give you plus 1 tummy ache damage. And that's another thing, sitters out there. Quick timeout. The system is kind of set up so you can very easily make things magic items. When you go through the item list, the loot list, you'll see that there's kind of a theme that is followed as far as pluses and minuses to stuff. So it's very easy to just plug your own items and loot into things like that. So just keep that in mind. Time back in.
Magical pocket meat.
Magical pocket meat. Magical pocket.
Did we fill in all the spaces on the loot charts? Because I feel like that could fit somewhere.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, put that in the notes. Magical pocket meat. Yeah. Pros.
Give me magical pocket food of any type.
So Luca, Jacques, and Ralph go they skirt around you where you're having a little tradesy in the middle of the floor. You're smelling your cookies, and Isabeau is eyeing up the other cookies, and she's like trying to surreptitiously snatch them off the table, but Josh got his eye on her.
And whenever Jacques doesn't have his eye on her, it's a boat.
Right, exactly. Ignatius is keeping an eye as well, and so is Scratchy the cat, who has also joined you in the space, and she's like right up on Isabeau. The cat's got a good sense of who's the least trustworthy in the room.
Scratchy's knocking the cookies off, but just to see him fall on the floor. Just.
There's a
now?
smaller table that just has stuff for the cat to knock over. Just when she gets the urge to knock stuff off, so it's kind of pop, pop, pop. Yep. So the three of them sit behind their big desk, and probably the biggest mystery of this room is how the heck they got this desk into this tiny little room in the first place, because it's twice as big as the doorways. It's probably weighs a couple 100 pounds, and it's nice. It's just a very nice piece of furniture.
Magic,
gotta be.
Or maybe they built it.
They could have. You don't know. Big kids.
excellent waxsmithery.
That's some arts and crafts like I've never seen before.
I mean, you'd be surprised what you can get with enough cookies to grease the wheels. Yeah. The three of them sit down and they each adopt a stance that you can tell they practiced to look intimidating and serious.
And cool.
Yeah, they look good. Yeah. Ralph is leaning back with his arms crossed, and he haughtily stares at all of you. He's like, "I'm the smartest one in the room."
Henry is
That's
trying
not saying much.
to also put off a smart vibe.
Oh, it's looking pretty good. Give me a clever roll or brainy roll. Give me a brainy roll.
Exuding.
So 8.
Ralph sees you imitating his stance. He's like, "Oh, I see you are also very smart, huh?
Yes.
I can tell by the way you
Oui,
are."
oui.
Oh! Please don't do that in the clubhouse.
She's got a diaper on. It's okay.
Yeah.
No judgments here.
He gives you a nod and kind of taps his head like, yeah. That's smart too. And that makes you feel good. So remove one grump damage.
Oh, good, because I was getting close.
Jacques sits with his fingers steepled, and he occasionally will stroke his mostly drawn-on pencil-thin mustache, just making sure that the 4 or 5 hairs are still there in place, that he hasn't accidentally rubbed them off.
I'll rub my little furry chin and say, jealous.
Yeah. No.
Whiskles a wheel.
Julius
up.
Augustus.
Shut up, kid.
He's totally jealous.
He is a little jealous. He's not going to lie. He's been working on this thing for about 5 years now, and this is of course he's like 11, so it's not like he's been, but
He's a very good drawer.
right. It's an excellent mustache. It's like but so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I think that will do nicely. Tell me, you know who we are? We are the Triangle. We are criminal geniuses. Yes, you can see our vast cookie collection.
Cookie Empire.
Cookie Empire. I like that. It's good. Cookie Empire. The cookies control everything. It all comes from the flow of the cookies. The cookies must move.
Must flow.
Cooks must flow.
They must flow. The cookies must flow. He who controls the cookies controls the orphanage, yes?
Guys, we're such nerds.
Yeah.
How many references can we put?
Can I squeeze
In
into
our
Dune?
podcast.
I'll squeeze in as many as I need to. As many
I
as I
got
need
5
to.
or 6.
Yeah,
Within the
yeah,
next 10 minutes, 5
We
or 6
we
more.
had hitchhikers though. Like we're doing top
We're
notch work,
regular
guys.
Ready Player One here.
Grumps are the mind killer. I will let my grumps flow through me.
I'm hanging up.
I'm done. Movies, Dune, not bad. It's only half a movie, though. I gotta wait for part 2 to see if I actually like it or not, but I enjoyed the first half. Anyway, okay, I digress.
This has been movie reviews.
This has been movie reviews with Jason.
It was like
It's alright. At my age, movies are either or That's about as much as I can muster these days. The cookies control everything, but we are only one part of a larger network. Have you ever been to other parts of Lady Chastity's besides this wing?
You mean like outside?
Well, have you been?
in the
You've been.
playground.
Where the rich kids are.
That's one part. Yes,
I've never been there, but I've heard about it.
there are a bunch of stuck-up jerky jerks over there in the rich kid place.
Oh,
But
I've been to the old bathrooms where the
you've been to
toilets
the
are.
old buddies. Okay, scary, huh?
Yeah, it's gross. That's why I still use my pants.
That's probably good for you.
It's so gross in there. I don't like it.
Do you want to use a Scratchy's litter box? We will turn away if it makes you feel better.
No, he likes the warm feeling.
When it's cold, you know.
It's time to. That's how I know it's time to change my pants. When it
warm
gets
things up
cold.
a bit, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's not gonna freeze.
Oh. I like the way it smells,
I remember.
too.
Far be it from me to judge anybody's body habits.
You think anybody wants to walk onto this in a monkey grip when I got a load in my trousers? I don't think so. It's like protection.
Luca nods. That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe I should try that sometime.
That's true. I don't want to be near you right now.
Hey, I'm good right now. In about a half hour after all these cookies, though.
There's just a parting of the seas as everyone takes a step away from Ignatius. It's like,
I remember being outside before I came here, but that's as far.
And not many of us have been outside aside from the courtyard, so that's good. But the point is, what I'm trying to get to is that we are not. The Triangle is not the only group that controls the orphanage or even the outside area. There are other groups that have other powers that control different aspects. We keep the cookies flowing, but there are groups that control when bedtime is. There are groups that help control the toy distribution. There are groups that control when you get to go to the cafeteria.
What about that nasty porridge?
We can't do anything about the porridge, unfortunately. As much as I've tried. I hate that porridge.
You can make it that cookies up for breakfast. You're so powerful.
No, we can only get a few cookies from the head nurse. She, from the lunch lady. We have a deal with her. We bring her big hunks of stinky meat, and she makes us cookies.
You're the sticky, stinky meat guy?
Well, actually, Ralph is the stinky meat guy. And I was like, I can find stinky meat, yeah. I use my brains. All of these other groups, normally we have all fought with each other for the longest time. I want your turf, I want your turf. You know, when we are like in the courtyard and everybody is like, I'm going to be king of the playground today. And it's so silly. We could do so much better if we all work together, yes?
I want to be king of the playground.
What playground? What
I
are
don't
we
know.
talking about?
It sounds awesome.
Okay, tell you what, you are both kings of the playground. Congratulations. How do you feel now?
I feel like you were trying to trick me because I don't think there is a playground.
I feel pretty good.
Make a clever roll there, Aaron.
Okay.
It's probably better if we're all friends.
So I have a 9.
There is, you've heard of a playground area, of the courtyard. It's usually for kids who are a little bit bigger than you, but it's like a big marketplace, open plaza area. So he's, when he says, he is at least affirming a rumor that you have heard before. Yeah.
I'm still not sure I trust him.
That's fair.
It's full of dangerous, all the worst like playground equipment.
Yep.
Straight down slide.
Oh, the
turns
slide
9 degrees with the
yes,
sun.
it's metal and it heats up and it keeps that heat for for days and days.
The merry-go-round that wobbles.
The teeter-totter is off balance by like 8 inches, so one kid always slams right down. Yeah. There's no balancing on it. Yeah. The rusty chain swing, got a couple of those.
Yeah, it pinches your arm.
Exactly. Yep. Every time you turn
Your
the arm.
hands.
Yep. The seat's all cracked. It could go at any moment.
These brown stuff on your hands.
Actually,
It smells horrible.
You kids would be lucky to get that. Yeah.
there is a playground like that right near my house. I'll take some pictures so we can edge the...
Yeah, so that we know what we're looking at. Yeah. There's a sad, decrepit playground by my house. Yeah. We call this childhood, kids. Yeah. I remember playgrounds like on concrete. Like in the middle of parking lots. Basically, it's like they didn't even try to make the ground soft. It was like, here, we're gonna
Monkey bars.
Yeah, monkey bars right under the concrete. Yeah.
No skin knees ever gonna happen here. Yeah, no broken arms.
Well, we had wood chips, but
See, wood chips
those
would have been
aren't
a
so
step
great.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Give you splinters.
The gravel pits that we used to play in. Anyway, you know where you get gravel from, Lee? From a quarry.
From the quarry. Yeah. Alright, I'm gone. I'll see you guys next week. I'd say it was fun, but
There are a lot of extra groups around there. And they all want to be in control, but here's the thing. If we keep fighting with each other, then nobody wins. Yeah? Make sense?
But I'm the king of the playground, so I win.
Yes, okay, everyone except for you two, because you are the playground kings.
Good. Okay, yeah.
All hail your highness.
Thank you.
you could win better, though. Because you own one part. If you work with the other people, then you own more.
Well, let's do
You're
it.
king of just the playground right
What
now.
about, so we need to be friends with the king of the witch people.
Well, the triangle.
Or the king of the potties?
Is the king of the parties? That's close. Nobody wants to be king of the parties.
I think you should be king of the potty.
I heard about Invisible Grandpa. He's the
What?
king of the potties.
There's a hush from the other three.
What are you talking?
We don't talk about him here. Never say his name.
What name?
No, not you. No, not you. He, the disappearing old guy. If you say his name, it will attract his attention, and he is not to be
And what
trifled
is
with.
his name?
I don't know.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say it. I just said don't say it.
But if I don't know his name, I don't know what not to say.
But what if his name is like Steven? What if it's Ignatius?
Well, those names are fine because that's not who I am talking about.
There's nobody here named Ignatius, okay?
What if his name is Joe?
Well, then call him Joe, but don't call him what she said.
Oh.
Can we call him Papa?
I mean, fine. Just don't say the
Peoples.
word. Don't say what she said. Don't say those two words that the Dragon Boy said together in that conglomeration.
How about Grandpa Invisible?
We'll call him Spooky Peepums.
Yeah, I guess that's okay because he's not the invisible crap. Oh no, just okay. Nobody say it one more time because we don't want to call your attention. He is not to be trifled with.
He might be serious. If we summon him, we'll have to fight like a dragon, basically at level 1.
A dragon like me? I know I'm very terrifying.
I don't know what he is. He's invisible. I just know that you don't bother him unless you don't have your brains in your head.
Invisible Grandpa.
What? No!
I say nothing.
There's a swirling in the room, Ignatius, and a voice seems to come out of nowhere. There's a cold. The room gets cold. It gets very cold. And there's a voice that says, "Who summoned me?" It seems to come from nowhere and everywhere all at once. "You have spoken my name. Who has summoned me?"
Nobody. Thank you for your time.
Java cookies?
"Oh, you don't need me after all?
Yes, you got cookies.
So this was a mistake? Because I'm a very busy man."
Thank you, Mr. Connolly.
Oh, all right, well, if you've got something you need, let me know. I'm in the potties, but otherwise, I'm an old man. Need a nap.
Understand.
Okay, kids. Have a nice day. And then the room gets warm again.
He don't seem so bad.
The three are just like shocked.
I thought he could send you on quests.
He didn't have no cookies, though.
Well,
You are very lucky that he was in a good mood.
Nah, very powerful. I'm a very powerful summoner.
Okay. You know what? How about you, Mr. Kitty Cat in the corner there? You are on silent game. No more talking from you.
But maybe I just
no.
How about just a little...
No.
Meow.
No.
Ignatius walks in 3 little circles and then lays down on the ground and curls himself up.
You go, Grumpy. You take a time out. Summon monsters into my hideout with you kids think you are.
I'm a summoner.
Yeah. I'm gonna summon you into next week, kid. All right. So anyway, the rest of you, I feel like I am talking to a bunch of toddlers.
We're very good at this.
those are our skills.
Thank you for listening to Even Footing Games podcast. You can follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Even Footing Games, or you can email us at evenfootinggames@gmail.com. We want to give a shout out to our newest patron, Debbie. If you too want to be awesome like Debbie, you can support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/evenfootinggames. You can get our developmental blogs, extra episodes, and free downloads of our game before they are even available to the public. Thank you as always to the gentleman for the use of our theme music. Now let's get back to it.
Henri and Debella, you are correct. If we all work together, we can be kings of more. Nobody really likes, if you can believe it, me, or Luca, or Ralph. I guess we rub people the wrong way? I don't know.
Maybe put people on timeout, not such a good idea.
I think I told you to keep it zipped up, Mr. Kitty Cat?
That's a bad idea to me.
And I don't like some of the other people in the other gangs. But there is one one person who thinks that they can unite us all. She is the oldest kid.
I'm the oldest kid.
Okay, she is the second oldest kid.
Yeah, when 300 years old, she could be oldest kid.
No, she's like 14, but 300 is per person.
I'm the oldest kid. That's just
Guys,
that.
I don't think you are allowed to be in the orphanage if you're 14.
No,
I thought
you're
you
not.
got cut off at 12.
You do.
Wait, so 14, which is older, 14 or 300?
Well, I mean 300, but she's like got 14 real years where he's got, he took a nap for 300.
Oh, okay.
Two oldest.
She's
Don't care.
14 awake years beats 300 sleepy years.
I think that depends on who you ask, but sure.
That makes sense.
So she wants to make a monarch, like a butterfly.
No, she wants to unite all of the gangs against the nurses and the janitors. She wants to help us run the orphanage all together so that we all do better. And she has called a secret meeting from all of the leaders of all of the gangs to come and hear what she has to say. But we cannot leave, because if we go, somebody will try to take over our territory, which is why we want to send you as our, what is the word, Ralph? You're our special envoys. Yeah, envoys.
Is that like an envelope?
I like being a convoy.
Yes, they all carry messages. So yes, you are the convoy envelopes. Of course.
Woohoo!
Well, who is she? What's her name?
Her name is Cindy, and she used to be a weird kid until she became the oldest kid. Shut up, Esteban.
Wow.
The oldest kid. And you can hear the capital letters. Yep. Oh, okay. Nobody knows how she's been able to stay in the orphanage for as long as she has. But she has gained great wisdom. And she believes that there's a way to unite all of the gangs together.
Even of the rich kids?
Even the rich kids. I mean, they have vegetables, which I guess are good for you. I don't know. I had the piece of...
That's gonna be hard.
Wait, they eat something besides porridge?
Yeah, Lucas says that they have green things and like red things, and he said he ate a...
Don't eat red things.
He ate a piece of broccoli before, and I guess it made him feel good for a couple of seconds. I don't know.
I'll believe it when I taste it.
I'm very smart, and I've never heard of broccoli.
It sounds like a funny word you made up.
I didn't make it up, I ate it. It's broccoli. That's what they called it. The rich kids before I beat them up and took their broccoli.
Okay, it's okay.
Sure. I'm sure we all believe you. They're there.
I have no problem beating up smaller kids too.
And we
You
yakuza,
can try. I'm a dragon.
And I know when
I've
I'm
got
big...
fire breath
buddy.
and giant
we-
wings.
And it's pretty big.
I grow my own vegetables.
Really?
I pat my mushrooms on my head.
Oh, the ones coming out of your brain.
You can't have them though.
Henry tries to like cough up like some fire breath, and it's not really working.
Is that what they call your breath in the morning? It smells really bad.
Yeah, it's dragon breath.
I think I saw some smoke though that time. That was pretty good.
Watch out. It could, you never know. It could come out anytime.
I'm crazy like that.
I'm crazy.
With the like a dragon.
But if you all agree to be our convoy envoy envelopes to the secret meeting with Cindy, the oldest kid, and the other gang representatives, maybe you will prove yourselves worthy to take over our organization when we all leave the orphanage. Maybe you become the top big kids.
Wait. If Cindy's gonna be in charge, then don't you get to stay because you will also get to be oldest kids here?
We don't really want to stay much longer. There's other things for us to do out there. Ralph thinks he's going to go to school, which is hilarious.
I believe in you, Alf.
I don't.
Shut up, Esteban. Luca wants to work in a brickyard, and I want to continue being a criminal mastermind. So we all have ambitions outside of the orphanage. And someday so will you too. But before that happens, we want to make sure that all we have built, and he spreads his arm towards the 2 tables full of cookies and the room that hasn't been swept past 4.5 feet. We want to leave all of these in capable hands so that you can run. Okay?
Okay.
So, I mean, if Daybella and Augustus think that's a good idea.
And Esteban, as the technically oldest kid, you would also be helpful to have as part of the convoy envoy envelope.
I'd be a convoy envelope. Yeah.
Vivalo.
Perfect. I'm so glad. So glad. Now the thing is, what we have heard is that the meeting, Cindy, the gathering of all the gangs, is being held in the underground.
Underground.
Oh
I
no.
like underground.
Like where the toilets we do?
Yeah. Specifically in the heart of the underground city, known only as the underground city.
I don't know if I want to go there.
Why would she go there?
Because it is a neutral ground, she wants to make peace amongst the underground gangs as well.
Sounds like a place where party goes.
The party does go there, and so will your party. Because I need you to go down onto the underground as our representatives. But I think you are all smart and tough enough that you can handle anything that comes your way. Whether it be the pirates or the poo monsters or everything in between.
Poo monsters?
I don't think they are real myself, but apparently some people say there are monsters made of poo, and they're all.
I don't know.
Horrible.
But I've heard that there are things that steal everything you love down in the underground.
The binky parrots, yes, I would avoid them if
Like
possible.
the nurses?
Well, the nurses, when they take your stuff, you will know about it. The pirates, it is just gone. And I hear they also like to fart on your head when they leave.
Oh my.
It's rude.
Very, very. Why would you do that? It's gross. Ugh.
Guys, wait a second. Are we, like, for real sure that we want to do this? Like, I mean, poo monsters and steal your stuff?
Do
Gang?
you have rain boots?
I want to know how strong is Estevam, because I think we are clever and Ignatius is kind of sneaky, but we are not very strong.
I try to lift the dragon from the ground.
Give me a muscly roll.
Oh, wow.
So your adventurousness, yep,
Okay.
plus a 1d6, and if you have anything to muscly.
I got a 8.
Yeah, I'm a big dragon.
You go up to the dragon and you try to get your arms under him. Ugh, nothing happens. Try to wrap your arm around his midsection, but you can't get. Ugh, nothing happens. You finally go to one of his back legs, and you wrap your arms around his back leg, and you. Ugh. Henry, you feel a little bit bad for him, so you just kind of lift your leg a little bit.
You've been eating cookies too much.
Oh!
Oh no.
Whoa, that was pretty good.
You're like, oh, he lifted up the dragon! Hey, look at that! That's very impressive. Very strong, man.
Very strong, very muscly.
Can we, real quick, because I guess I was unclear, can we define the difference between a muscly and a beefy challenge?
Sure. Muscly is your strength roll. You can compare it to your strength. And beefy is more like your constitution. It's how much.
Okay.
It's how tough you are.
It's kind
how
of
much
like, yeah, like, I think my knack changed to beefy because I'm just like a big dragon.
Right.
Okay.
So it's kind of more how much, yeah. Your toughness, yeah. Beefy. That boy's a healthy eater. Yeah. So you will do this for not just us, but for our part of the orphanage. If you prosper, everyone prospers, and maybe if we have the backing of some of the other organizations, we can get some vegetables. Maybe we can get rid of the porridge bowl.
For the good of baby kind, I think that...
Excuse me, Augustus, let me handle this for just a second.
Okay.
It
okay.
seems to me like
Mhm.
you guys don't want to go because this is very dangerous.
No.
And you're trying to send us because we are babies. And I just don't think it's very smart for us to maybe go to where the poop goes because there are monsters and stuff. I think you're trying to benefit from this without having to take any of the risk.
Oh, they're gonna be potty down.
Dare you insinuate that I would ever put the danger on somebody else that I would not be able to do myself? Of course I am not doing that at all. No, we would totally go ourselves, but we're busy. We got other things to do. Ralph, right? We're busy. Yes, I've got things that need to be taken care of.
What kind of thing?
Smart things, you big things, I've got deodorant to put on.
Deal?
You're making
You don't
stuff up
use-
now.
I think if they want us to go, they need to provide us with stuff.
Oh, that's why you're so smart, and we need stuff.
So we can make it there.
Helpful stuff.
Good stuff.
Sure, that's fair. We should probably let them take a look at the stocks. Luca, why don't you go get the safe, and we'll let them pick. We'll pull them some stuff from the private stock. Jacques looks not happy about that, but Luca goes over and he picks up. It's just a cardboard box. It's a big cardboard box, and he puts it in front of Ralph on the table, and Ralph kind of pushes the papers off the table. And Ralph, as he's opening the box, he's like making unlocking noises. He's like, ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. And as he opens up it, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Just a couple more locks. It's very, very definitely like a box. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
Guys, I don't even see anything holding the clothes.
They're invisible magic locks. It's invisible magic. Please, shh. I'm doing important magic. As I open the box, nothing bad will happen because of my magic. Ha! And Jacques and Luke are like, very good. It's good magic. It's good, very good. Okay.
And we with that magic wheel?
He opens. All of my magic is real. I'm very magical. I've got magic coming out of my fingers. Everybody, give me a nosy roll.
No, I would just believe him. I'm.
No, this is to see what's in the box. What's in the
Oh, okay,
box?
sorry.
What's in the box?
Nosy is based on which one?
Cuteness.
It's your cuteness.
Oh man.
I got a 7.
Okay.
I got a 9.
4.
Okay.
Cuteness 7.
And a 7. Okay. And a 9. All right. And a 4. All right. Ignatius, you're too busy trying to keep Isabeau from stealing more cookies.
It's a boat.
There is indeed a heck of a lot of stuff in this box. It's like but the rest of you can see that it's just like a bunch of junk that's all been thrown into the box, but it doesn't look like cheap junk. It's like stuff they've obviously pilfered or taken from grown-ups or traded. It's their good. If it's not their best stuff, it's good stuff.
Do I see any books?
There are no books, unfortunately. Ralph closes his eyes and he reaches it. He's like, I'm gonna let the magic pick out what I get. Because that's how we do. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. Magic, 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 magic. And he just kind of reaches in and he scoops up and he plops a bunch of stuff on. So what he picks up, what he slaps on the table, and you can decide who's getting what. There's an
Can I use my don't touch that to convince him to get another one?
I think don't touch just lets you trade with somebody else, right? Or no,
no,
you're a
after
warwalker.
combat.
Yes.
Yeah, you can make 2 loot rolls.
Okay. So yeah, eat a cookie to trigger Don't touch that.
Oh, it's just 2 tummy aches.
Is it 2 tummy aches? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Daybella, how are you going to convince him to regenerate?
While he's digging around, I'll say, I know some magic too, and they're telling me up here that you should grab an extra one more.
He looks at you and he's like, yes, I can sense the dark arts about you as well. All right. And he reaches in and he grabs another item. So there's 5 items on the table now. There is an empty wasp nest. There could still be wasps in there, but you don't know. But it's awesome. And it adds +1 to any beefy roll that you make. It's a single-use item. There is a bubble pipe that adds +1 to any crafty roll. It's a single use. There is a little bag that seems to be full of hard candies. These are grandma's sweater candies. These candies are actually not very good at all. They can be used to gross out an opponent and cause 1 additional tummy ache. And there are 3 candies in the sack. So during that combat, you can fling them at somebody. Somebody else's binky. He pulls out a binky that looks like it's been used. But if you decide to take this binky, it gives you +1 to your grumps max, but it subtracts 1 from your tummy aches max because somebody else's slobbers all over it.
For like a whole day? Or how does that work? Permanently?
That's permanent. That's a permanent upgrade. And then there is some shabby screws and stuff, which if you find a baby with max waxsmithery can turn an item into a shabby item. So that's what he lays out for you all.
That's a lot.
That binky looks pretty good, but then again, I wonder about that candy.
Henry kind of wants the wasp nest.
I make sense. I mean, kindred spirit and all.
Wasps and dragons are basically the same thing.
Just call her a bad wasp.
They both fly.
We both fly.
And they're both tough.
And we're both beefy.
Makes sense to me.
Henry, you can have the wasp nest.
That binky doesn't gross me out too much.
All right.
Esteban, what do you want?
I want the candy. I like to throw them at people.
I kind of want the binky.
You can have the binky if you want. That's okay. I like a shell. What's that leave
gross.
me?
Don't share that binky. Yeah.
What's that leave? That leaves the screws
Bubble
and...
pipe.
That leaves the
Bubble
pipe, the pipe and the screws. And technically, yeah. Lee, since she used her ability, does get 2 choices. That's her.
I figured it would just be kind of up to the
Okay.
group.
Okay.
I was just going to add an extra one that we could all choose between.
Okay,
It works
fair.
a little bit differently here because, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I only get to keep 1.
Right.
I get
right.
2 opportunities.
Right. It's just an extra loot gets grabbed. So yeah, that leaves us the pipe and the screws.
I'll take the pipe. It'll go good with my monocle.
Okay, so the binky gives you +1 to...
Binky gives you permanent +1 to your grumps max, but a permanent -1 to your tummy ache max. Because you can taste the spit of another baby on your binky. You're poking through, and finally Jacques says, "That's enough. Put our stuff away. No being greedy, babies. Mine."
That sounds greedy. You'll have so many things.
Hey, learn to share.
I just gave you a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Okay, so if I take that binky and I put it on my mouth, that maxes out my tummy aches. So I pick up this binky, I go, "Oh, cool," and I put it in my mouth, and I go, "Oh."
So did you just...
And I throw up.
No.
I have to take another break.
Oh, dang, Bella.
So...
That's so gross.
It's really funny to me.
So Dabella's just like, "Oh, this is," and she just throws up right in the middle of the room, and oh my gosh, everyone else,
I'm sorry.
everyone else, just make a straight precociousness roll. No wait, no, make an adventurousness roll. Adventurous in this case. So just your adventurousness plus a d6.
8.
I got a 10.
7.
Okay.
7 for Ignatius.
Ignatius. Oh god, the smell.
Oh.
Oh god, she's throwing up.
Oh, they bell like wolf.
Oh, and you boot one too, and you're gonna take 1 point of ouchie damage
Oh my god.
as you hack up a hairball you've been saving for a while. Apparently, it's just been right on the verge there. And Chuck's like, "No, get out! Go! You're throwing up the cookies! No, we're done here. Go! Take your gross little friends and get out! Oh God!
Oh, come on, Dave Bella. This is so gross. We gotta get out of here.
This is never coming out of the carpet." The carpet is just like one carpet square sample that they got somewhere. It's like, oh, we will never get these. Oh God. Okay, you know what? Go to the old putties. There's apparently a secret passageway. Come back to us when you met with Cindy and tell us what she has to say. But God, just go. You're gross. Ugh. And Luca shuffles you out. He's like, oh, you might want to brush your teeth.
Oh.
Like, maybe ever. And he pushes you out into the closet, and you can hear the panel kind of scraping back into place. And Luca's waving as he closes. He's like, good luck, have fun. And he closes. So now you're all in this tiny little broom closet. Ignatius has pretty much wiped the puke off his fur, but Daybella is still just trying to fight off the. She's got a boot again. So she's just trying to fight off the next batch of boot. And you're supposed to be on timeout. But I think...
Okay, yeah, so should I leave?
No, I think we're going to end there. We're going to end there for the day. In a tiny closet, covered in puke.
Hey, Daybawa, what's grosser than gross? This reminds me of a good joke. What's grosser than gross?
Oh, what?
Some other kid's binky. What's grosser than that?
Well, I don't know.
Go on to where the potty goes.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
All right. Jimmy did a lot of playtesting for us and realized that it's very easy to break the game, which to some extent I like breaking games, but some people don't like the game being broken. So we've scaled back a lot of the bonuses that we're giving to the characters, the things that you start out with. We've changed the beginning array from 632, now it is 532. Classes don't give you a bonus to your big three stat, your adventurousness, your precociousness, your cuteness anymore. They give you a bonus to one of the skill challenges that you can choose. Perks, which had been giving +3 bonuses to rolls, now give +2. Some knacks gave +2 bonuses, now give +1. So we basically scaled everything back a little bit so that it's harder to kind of hit those skill challenge goals, which makes the game a little more difficult to break. We will see if our numbers are right, but the math seems to work out so far. So it's going to make a more evenly balanced, more challenging game, which will be more fun.
I think the main thing is that that's also going to make it easier to get to breaks, which we haven't really played with because it's so hard to get to that point.
Right.
I was going to say, one of the things that we could even mention in the books is that if you had younger players playing, you could kind of start them out with higher stats.
Absolutely.
So that they don't hit breaks as often as everybody else.
Breaks is a reminder, nap time, potty break, and timeout are things we haven't hit yet, but we have 3 stats, our substats, our misfortunes, we call them, of ouchies, grumps, and tummy aches. And these are basically your damage rankings. You can consider your HP, your MP, and your sanity points if you want to think of them that way. And when you hit your max for those 3, you go on an enforced timeout. You have to leave the table. You physically, the player, has to leave the table. And your character basically leaves as well for a set amount of minutes. So anything that happens in that time, you miss out on because you didn't properly manage how much damage you were taking. It's sort of a built-in way for everyone to have a break, but also as kind of a punishment to some extent if you don't balance your stats correctly. There's a lot of resource and item management in this game. It's a very management-based system. Things give you bonuses to one thing, but might take away from another. So you kind of have to learn how to scale those all correctly. One of the things I did want to talk about, though, Lee brought this up, is our item management system right now. So currently our item resources is based on your adventurousness skill, or your adventurousness stat, your basic Big 3 adventurous stat. It's basically the higher the number, the more items you can carry. The reason I made it that way is the idea that, if you're a stronger kid, you can hold more, but there's a cap because you are children. You've only got so many hands and you've only got so many pockets, and the idea of watching a little kid with his arm full of stuff is funny, but it leads to, you may not be, how do you manage that without having the characters not be able to get the fun stuff? Because there's no leveling system in the game, all of your bonuses will mostly come from items and from knacks that you learn. And if you have a bump on your items, then you can only pretty much get so strong, there's a cap there. So, Lee, you kind of had an idea of how we might be able to work around that a bit?
So I have two ideas. And first of all, I want to start with things that are worn. So we obviously have some worn items. Anything that most things that come from your
class.
Yeah, your starting equipment are going to be worn items. Do we want to put a limit on worn items? Like you can only wear up to 5 things at a time?
Well, I would like to mention that not every, my items for my class are not worn, but they are not supposed to count against my carrying capacity.
Your 2 starting items, as of right now, don't count against your capacity. They just, you have those all the time. So those are like 2 freebie items, basically. And every class starts with an effective item and like a flavor item, and how you choose to use that is up to you. Yeah.
So, okay, so then do we want to, then just forgetting about the class stuff, do we still want to put a limit on worn items? So you're not just wearing 8 ties and 4 pairs of shoes and stuff like that.
I mean, 8 ties is hilarious. I think that'd be great.
It's very good. Maybe you can wear a bunch of 8 ties, but not 2 outfits or something.
Right. See, and that's yes and no is where I'm coming from, because I absolutely understand you can wear 1 pair of shoes and you wear 1 hat because you've only got 1 head, unless you've got 2 heads, in which case
you put the hat on the hat.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some more hats.
Jimmy's got a couple heads there. So yeah, but or do we let things get silly and it's like, okay, I can only wear 1 pair of shoes, but I've got 3 pairs of socks.
Maybe that's one that's just up to the sitter.
That's what I was gonna say. I'd like to leave that up to the sitter, okay. and we maybe put a disclaimer about worn items not having to count. That's a big kid rule, maybe, that worn items don't have to count against your carrying capacity, but maybe dictated by the sitter. Hey, you can only wear 1 hat effectively, or hey, you can only wear 1 pair of shoes effectively, but I'll let you wear 8 ties.
I was gonna say that, perhaps only 1 is effective, but the others are flavor. So you pick the one that is the best for you as your effective one, but I stack a bunch of hats on my head because I want to be tall.
Whichever ones,
yeah,
right. But it's only the one that's
another
actually
thing that you want
skull.
to avoid is anything that has bonuses. You don't want to be stacking those up too much. So
because that breaks the game as well. Yeah.
The second thing we're going to talk about is non-worn items. So just things that are in your pockets or your diaper or wherever you happen to carry it. So right now we have a couple things I'm going to use my inventory as an example because I have a very low adventurousness. So I can only carry 4 things right now. So I have Band-Aids, but I have 3 Band-Aids. So does that count as 3 slots? My ideas for addressing this, I have 2 ideas. We could go more towards the Starfinder route, where you can carry bulk instead of weight or items. Okay. So you have 1 bulk is for most items, such as I have an inkwell, that's probably 1 bulk. And I have a piece of meat, that's probably 1 bulk. But if we're going for light items, those will count as part of a bulk. And so typically in Starfinder it's 10, but we can make that a little bit lower so we don't get too crazy.
3 Band-Aids is 1 bulk.
Yeah, or I was thinking 5 would be a good number. 5. It'd be 5 light items to 1 bulk.
Okay.
Or we can make it so that all of the things that you pick up that are light come in a container. That's what I have in my inventory right now to kind of keep it clean. So, such as Band-Aids come in a Band-Aid tin. It can only carry 5 Band-Aids in it. Or I believe Henry found aspirin, so it's only got 5 pills in it, but it's in a bottle. Yeah.
Not in this game.
Yeah, well, yeah, and so right now I have a candy bag as well that has 3 pieces of candy in it. So it either always comes in a container, small items that you can empty out, and then you can use that container too for something later, or we make it the bulk sort of thing. Those are my 2 ideas.
If I may personally weigh in, I like the bulk idea, but I think that happens in a lot of games, and it's I don't want to say it's complex, but it's I like the idea that each item might have a different bulk count, and therefore the container that you get, the container is the one item and it may have a carrying capacity. So if we have a Band-Aid container, maybe we put a number in parentheses after it. So every time we see Band-Aids, there's a Band-Aid container 5. And in it are, then after that you put how many Band-Aids you have remaining. The same thing with the aspirin, because with an aspirin, 5 aspirin doesn't make as much sense for a carrying capacity.
Right.
Where, a small bottle might carry 50. So, but there probably aren't going to be 50 aspirin in it, more than likely.
No, yeah, most likely.
So I do like that concept where the container is your item and its contents, that's going to be different per parcel.
Because, the container seems like it's going to be a bit more simple, but I feel like, which is good for, a kid's game, and I feel like the bulk is going to be a lot more specific and easier to manage, I guess. So it's just kind of the direction we want to take it, because the containers we can just write a set of rules and everything. And same with the bulk, we can be like, this it takes up this much space. But with the containers, you can kind of bend the rules a little bit. Well, why can't I stuff the Band-Aids into my aspirin jar along with the aspirin?
Right.
I was going to say, it depends on how nitty-gritty we want to get to avoid people hoarding items.
This is something where I think we can ask the audience. We'll play a certain way we may choose today, but keep in mind that when this airs, we may get a cool response from you guys, because that's kind of why we're doing this. We'd love to know what you think, what you might want to play with. Do you want to see rules that are very similar to other games you've played, such as bulk, which is easy? I mean, I think we can all wrap our head around that, but might be a little bit more of an abstract idea for younger people. Or a carrying capacity item that has a carrying capacity for the item that it's meant for.
Yeah.
Lee, I like the idea of bulk items with a built-in carrying capacity for a specific item.
Okay, because that's kind of what I have right now in my inventory. So right now I have a piece of meat in a glass jar, so I just put the meat in the jar.
Meat in the jar. So
I got Band-Aid tin with 3 Band-Aids and a candy bag.
So maybe we create, when we add these containers into the items and we specify these are for pills, this is for,
you can't put anything else in it.
Right. Just
maybe certain items you can.
I go so back and forth on this because I'm on one side, ease of use as Band-Aids go in Band-Aids tin, that's easy to remember. Pills go in pill bottles, that's easy to remember. But at the same time, this game is really about kind of being clever and creativity. So I don't want to necessarily say you can only put pills in the pill bottle. If
that's another one of those things where that you may put a caveat or a big kid's rule after it if your players want to stuff Band-Aids in a medicine.
I would like to remind people, especially since this did not happen on the podcast, when Henry was given a glass jar full of aspirin, he immediately dropped the aspirin and broke the bottle to use it as a trap, basically.
And it was horrifying.
Glass trap. Yes. But but I'm just saying that, if you have specific, you have to be ready for them to be used in not the way you expect.
Yeah, okay, so what I could say is that maybe you can only carry one type of thing in it at a time. So right now I have a Band-Aid tin with 3 Band-Aids. Once I use up those 3 Band-Aids, I can put something else in that tin.
Okay.
I like that.
That's because I have a glass
not bad
jar.
at all.
I don't remember where I got the glass jar.
It was the onion powder, right? Or the garlic powder?
Oh, I haven't used it yet. Okay, that's where it came from. So once I use that,
seasoned meat.
Now you've got seasoned meat in there, yeah.
Yummy. Yeah, okay, I'll put those together. I like that idea. Yeah, so maybe only like one thing can go in a thing at a time. You have to empty it before you use it again, or.
But
And
you
then
just
maybe you clarify with your sitter how many of this other thing will it hold.
But you just brought up an excellent point there. Just you made a combo item. You know what I mean? You combined your piece of meat and your onion powder. Now you've got spiced flavored meat. And I'm not sure what you'll use that for, but I love it. You know what I mean? Like you combine two different things together, and it's like, okay, now you've got something new. And I don't want to take that creativity. Oh gosh, this is hard.
I mean, I think that we can expand that for like a sitter's guide later. If people want like more advanced rules, or they can just use the basic and go with their imagination.
Yeah.
But if this is a system based on items, because there is no progression, no experience, nothing like that,
Right.
we need to allow people to carry more items, because that will be more important.
So increase the carrying capacity just in general might not be a bad idea, because you're right, Rocky.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, it's if we're not letting folks if there's no level up or experience, then it all does come down to the items. And if there's a cap,
We'll have some kind of level up, right? Like we'll be getting feats. Oh no, items can give you feats. That's right. Sorry.
Nax, yeah. What's a feat?
I
Nah.
got 2 feeties at the end of my leggies.
Feet are on the ends of your legs. We use Nax. But yes, upping the carrying capacity just in general, I think, is a good idea. But I do want to play around with this idea of bulk containers. I think it's really good, and I think it can be used well. And maybe the creating that combo item is up to sitter discretion, or it's a big kid rule or something like that. But
Another thing I wouldn't mind pointing out is, since we've taken away from the baby's capacity a little bit and stat strength, adding that capacity literally to carrying capacity is a pretty good idea, because I feel like we've robbed from one place on the baby. I don't mind giving a little more in that area, because it does go a little bit more with the overall theme of what we're going for with B&B.
Right.
Kids pick up a lot of stuff.
The kids pick up a lot of stuff. That's yeah.
And they'll surprise you where they pull it out from.
Oof, believe me, I know. That's wrong, man. Come on now.
They're armpits. What do you think?
Steve, cut that.
Don't you put this evil on me, Jimmy.
That's on
you.
Yeah, that's on you. It's on you.
You're sick, Jimmy. You're sick. All right. Where's that shame gif that we were putting on Lee the other night? That's what we need. All right. All right. So we're going to play. I think right now I'm going to play around from here out with the idea of you can put things in other things, but only one thing type of thing. No. All holds barred. I think I'm going to allow anything, and then I'm going to figure out. So let's add 1 + 1 to our starting carrying capacity for now. So instead of being 4, 5, 6, it'll now be 5, 6, 7 for items, in addition to your 2 starting items. So conceivably, if you maxed out your adventurousness, you can hold up to 9 items.
Unless you had one of the bags that lets you carry.
Unless
more.
you have a bag that lets you carry one more, either the sneaky pants loot bag or the backpack with a froggy on it.
By the way, I didn't find in the book, at least, the item list. What each one do? Where is it?
Which the items that you start out with?
Yes, because actually I'm flavoring a new class, so I'm kind of
Right.
to
Yes,
figure
you
it
are.
out.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So
He needs dental floss.
he needs dental floss. That's good.
Dental floss. I was gonna say I guess it doesn't work for a kid that's already a vampire, but there's a little plastic vampire teeth for a biter.
Maybe his fangs.
Looking at my
Plus
teeth,
1
maybe you should
damage
wear these to
once a
feel
day.
more
Yeah.
comfortable.
His fangs haven't grown in yet, so he's got to do the fake ones. Yeah, he's got baby fangs. So the items that each class starts with, it's one item that is specifically useful to their class. Like, for example, the Thortherer has a heavy whacking book that is both a weapon and a heavy smashing thing, and could be a spell book, depending if the character wants to play it that way. The Kicky Punchies have a headband that says #1 Tough Kid, and it's armor. It's damage reduction armor. Sneaky Pants have a pillowcase that lets him carry one extra item. So it's something that pertains to that class specifically. The second item is something flavor. It's something fun. It's some sort of stuff that they can use. Warwalks have a balloon that never pops. Barbabians get a helmet with horns on it. It's something that's just fun for that particular class. So when you're figuring out what you want to do for your items, think one useful thing that's class specific and one fun thing that's class specific. So it could very well
Fun
be
thing should be dental floss.
yeah, maybe fighters have dental floss that lets them add extra damage because their teeth are nice and sharp or something.
Or I was going to say removes one ouchie because you get stuff stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, I mean, dental floss makes more sense in that way.
That would suck. That would be so annoying. It'd hurt.
If you were in my family and a lot of other families of Scott and Irish descent, it's a little bit of whiskey on your finger when you're teething. That's
Ooh, or a retainer that you had to pop in, and it gives you +1 damage to an attack each day.
Disclaimer, no one here has put whiskey on their children's gums.
no, that's never happened. I wouldn't waste whiskey on those kids. Anyway.
That's good whiskey. I wanted to have at least one. I don't know if it's only flavor I can use, but I want to have like a blanket that I can use like a cape, like a vampire cape.
Sure. Yeah, that's perfect.
Man.
That's perfect.
That's good
Blanket
flavor.
cape? Yeah, that is.
But the thing with the flavor items, they can also be used in other ways if you have a creative way to use them. Like Lee's
And
balloon.
a blanket?
Yeah.
That's
Blankets
awesome.
are always useful.
You can get a lot
I have
of
never
use
played
out
a
of a
D&D
blanket.
game where
Yeah.
I did not light a blanket on fire and throw it at somebody.
It's the Lee
You
Baldwin
always
special.
have a blanket.
Oh no, she's pulling a Lee.
You've got to know where your towel is.
That's just good hitchhikers
Yeah, that's
work.
never forget your towel. That's right.
Blanket's a kind of a towel, I'm just saying.
It is. It is.
Fair.
Anything's a towel. You try hard.
Try it,
You
don't
try.
Or if you wait long enough, maybe? Just dry off normally.
Could dry off with this table.
Yep. Don't do
Lay
that.
on it.
It's gonna ruin the finish. Don't do that. All right. You can't get those butt rings out of the table. All right.
You seem like you're talking from experience,
So that's So Rocky, think about that. And if anybody else wants to come up with a class, keep that in mind. A special item and a flavor item, but something that could also conceivably be used as in a pinch. Like the Thor Thrower comes with a jar of Vaseline. Is Vaseline copyright? We might have to change that to petroleum jelly.
Yes, it's copyright.
Okay, so we will need to change it to jelly. But she, Erin, in our Halloween one shot that you can hear in the Patreon. Yeah,
Henry identifies as male, thank you.
I'm sorry, Henry. You're right. Henry took a glob of that and threw it on the floor as a slippery. It made it harder for an enemy to stop. So it was still a clever use of a flavor item, and that's a big part of the game too.
She made a slip and slide.
She made a slip and slide right
Slip
into
and
the
slide
Oh, wait.
into glass.
into the broken glass. Yeah, it was
That's probably tratrademarked
It's like
as
some
well.
Jackass stuff.
Slippy slidey.
yeah, it was
Slippery.
it was a slippery plastic matty thingy. Yeah.
A trip and slip.
That Halloween, a trip and slip is good. That Halloween episode that Jimmy ran for us, we will probably put that on the Patreon at some point. So check that out. It was a lot of fun. It was a trip into the land of the candy elementals, which was very Halloween.
Elemental candy.
The elemental candy. Yep.
Where no mere mortal should traverse.
It'll explain some of the strange items we have suddenly.
Yes,
I'm keeping mine.
I've decided to make we've decided to make that canon. So before they got on this adventure, they had their little adventure in the Halloween Kingdom. So they might mention some funny items that you don't remember them getting, but it's because you didn't hear the Patreon episode yet. So thank you so much for listening to another episode of Babies and Broadswords. I feel this one has captured the tenor of things probably better than any game so far. We're so glad that Rocky, you were able to join us today.
Thank you.
I'm excited for when Esteban is able to join in the fun. But from Aaron, Lee, Jimmy, And Steve and the rest of the Even Footing team, thank you so much for joining us today. This is all we're doing this is as something that we want to do kind of on a professional basis. So any help from you folks to kind of make us aim in the right direction for this game to be something that you all want to play, then that always helps. But thank you for listening, and we will see you next time on Even Footing Games presents Babies and Broadswords.